Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's YouTube Live. I am here with Whitney and Bianca, and today we are going to be talking about this whole TikTok ban, and then how can we take our TikTok strategies and kind of adapt them for YouTube. And so, before we get into all of like the great stuff. I would love it if like Whitney and Bianca, if you guys don't mind introducing yourselves, telling everybody what y'all do, and let's just start it off on like getting the audience to know who the heck y'all are.
Why don't you go first?
Okay, Bianca, you go first.
Sorry, y'all. I'm Bianca Jordan. I am an attorney and personal brand strategist for busy CEOs. I help them build a strong personal brand without the tricks and gimmicks.
And my name's Whitney. I'm a fertility dietitian and coach, and I help women get pregnant.
Yes, and this is going to be really fun because y'all are obviously both using TikTok, right? And so when you're using it right now, like what made y'all like choose TikTok before we like kind of get started into like the nitty-gritty stuff?
For me, I've kind of built my law firm on social media from like the very beginning. And someone told me I needed to be on TikTok during COVID. And I'm like, what is TikTok? Is that like Snapchat? Is that for teens? I don't need to be on it. And reluctantly, I joined and realized there's a ton of immigrants there looking for information. And I've been on there ever since.
My situation was pretty similar. It was during the pandemic, and I joined because I was sad and bored, and I was primarily doing Instagram at the time and still do, but I decided it was a random thing that I ended up doing. I had a client that got pregnant, and we made a deal because everybody was doing TikTok dances at the time. And so we made a deal. I was like, when you get pregnant, I will dance on social media. And I did it was like a 12-second little video that went viral. And I got a ton of followers and new clients, and it was awesome. The beginning of TikTok, she was fun. She was a good time.
Yeah, season one of the panini, like I always call it the panini because a lot of people don't like call it COVID, but like, yeah, but season one of the panini, like TikTok was a vibe. Definitely.
Oh my gosh, it was. Yeah, it's so good.
It was like the golden age, man. It was like, look, you get in while getting's good.
Yeah, it really was.
I love that, and so y'all have grown pretty decent followings over there as well. And you're just so active over there because I follow both of y'all. And so, what are some of what is like your approach to content over up on TikTok right now?
For me, I try not to take myself too seriously. I don't speak in a lot of legalese. The law is boring, like nobody really likes lawyers. And so the law is very dense, very boring. So I try to be the opposite on TikTok. I explain information in layman's terms. I don't use legalese. This isn't like a Shakespeare, play that I'm reading. I just try to relate to people where they are. I share information in a way that's easy to understand in 30 to 60-second increments because we have a short attention span, and it's not overly polished. I'm usually not wearing like makeup or suits or anything. It's just me in my element, just talking to people like I'm having a normal conversation, like we're talking right now.
Mm-hmm. And I would agree. That's been my strategy. And kind of along the same lines as you, Bianca, fertility is it's a heavy topic. It is not a fun topic. It's not something people are really excited about. So I tried to add humor to it and lightness and talk about like the hard parts, but also the fantastic parts. And so that's been kind of the content that I post. And like I said, like dancing when my client gets a positive pregnancy test, like I am a conventionally trained clinical practitioner. Just dancing on social media is just kind of silly, but it's the side that I think people want to see. They want to see that part of it.
Mm-hmm. And do y'all think, so this is just me being nosy now to where I'm like, okay, cool. So when you think about TikTok and what you're doing now, what is like the best descriptor of like how it impacts your current like business model or your business growth? Like what do you normally see increasing over there, like because of TikTok?
For me, with what I'm seeing is people just feeling more open to having conversations about their legal status amongst themselves because we're getting good information. Immigration is very heavy. It's very serious. My clients are people who are in deportation proceedings. You know, they're facing being deported from the United States and being separated from their family. So it's a very serious thing, but I make it a little bit more approachable. I take the shame out of it as well, because I feel like a lot of people are ashamed of their status. They're ashamed of the fact that they're here undocumented or their parents brought them here. They're dealing with a situation that's beyond their control. And I don't judge. You know, I know right now there's like a whole we listen and we don't judge. I don't judge people. You do the best you can with the information you had available to yourself at that time. And because I'm sharing this information in a way that's humanizing the experience, they feel more comfortable talking about it and exploring their options and discussing it with their families.
How about you, Whitney?
I forgot the question, to be honest with you. So
yeah.
That happens to me. And I'm like, that's so good.
All right. That happens to me too. So the question is like for Dan, what was the question? No, I'm kidding. So how has TikTok what has TikTok helped you with in your business, right? Like I really want to know like what is the reason why you keep on doing it, right? Like how is it contributing to your business really? And it doesn't have to be like I'm making money directly from TikTok. It's just like what is the reason why you keep on, using the platform?
I've never monetized TikTok in that way. It's not been a priority for me. I wanted to do the work I wanted to do, and I wanted people to find me that way. The money part on the social media app wasn't that appealing. Not that money isn't appealing. That sounded stupid, but you know what I mean. My focus was on clients, and what I loved is that people got an idea because Instagram's so polished. And TikTok gave people a taste of your real personality. And what I found is that it was a wonderful way to reach people, for them to get a taste of the work that I do. And for a lot of my clients, they're fertility clients. And they've been in it for a while. Most of the women that I work with, this isn't they haven't been trying for like a month or two. They've been trying for quite a while. And so for a lot of the people I was able to reach through TikTok, it was that wider net that it's really hard to get on other social media apps. It was really easy for people to find you and reach you. And so that's kind of how I pictured it. It just gave people gave me a broader reach to reach more people.
Agreed.
Mm-hmm. Uh-oh.
Oh, you're on mute.
So this is actually really great because it's like accomplishing that visibility kind of part of your marketing ecosystem, right? And so and y'all already know how I am when it came to like YouTube Shorts. I was like, it's not ready yet. Y'all don't even like chill out.
Breaks.
I was like, y'all chill out. But it's one of those things to where if this ban happens, I would totally foresee resources being allocated to making the YouTube Shorts like division of it even more like good. And like because like right now it is good, but like wanting to have it be more integrated with like long form content as well is one of my like biggest things. But what I think is really cool that you can do is shorts have always been that thing that will just give you more increased visibility, right? And so one of the things that I would like to see is like I know that there's different content types that you're probably doing up on TikTok, so we're going to get into that too. But with the shorts, I feel like there would be a change in the type of short that you would make, other than like the up on TikTok. Like obviously, I feel like talking head ones are like you still being real and stuff, but like you probably won't be doing like any lip syncing type of TikToks up on like for shorts. Do you agree with that? Like, what do y'all think about that kind of like transition? Is that something that you do more up on your TikTok account?
Absolutely. Because TikTok really is that girl, and there is no other app like TikTok, period, which is why so many people are so attached to it right now. There is no, very sad. The algorithm is TikTok. Take away the algorithm, and TikTok is just like any other social media app. And it's really unmatched. Like TikTok really is a search engine. I've been saying this for years. And a couple of years ago, the TikTok search engine actually surpassed Google, which is part of why everybody just wants their competition to fall. But the content on TikTok does not necessarily translate one for one on another app. Yeah. Like things like trends originate on TikTok, and by the time they're on Instagram 2 to 3 weeks later, it's confusing. People don't get it. The comments that you get on the same video on TikTok won't be the same that you get on Instagram, won't be the same that you get on YouTube Shorts. And so I don't think that lip syncing type videos will do well on YouTube, because that's not what people are searching for. People going on YouTube, they're searching for really that how-to more so than being entertained. Whereas on TikTok, people are looking for information in an entertaining way. And so I think that's one of the distinct differences.
I do think you're right in that, but I do think that if people are currently using TikTok to entertain and also educate, I think that there can be some crossover there. It may not be exactly like how that, but if their personality is still that way, like maybe it's not really mimicking like a voiceover per se, but maybe adding in some other type of personality could be really good there. But also keep in mind too, like I think that's kind of like a really good thing to highlight is where TikTok is really great at trending things, right? But also, if people are trying to like leverage it for a business, it's not always that important for like the trending stuff, right? And so making sure that your content is zoning up on that expertise, that like core value that you have, like whatever is like rooted in like your core messaging could be like a really good thing. So yeah, there's going to probably be some compromise there, I would probably say, because obviously you can't just take a TikTok and put it up on YouTube. That would be the worst thing to do. It's the same thing you just can't do that with a reel or whatever, right? So it's not the same. But I would love to know. I would love to know what other types of content do y'all end up like frequently posting up on TikTok?
For me, I've been doing a lot of carousels over there and playing around with that, like the picture, just really simple, very, very simple ones. On Instagram, the ones I use are a little bit more in depth, but I do tend to cross post quite a bit because it's a time saver. But I wanted to make a point about what you just said about it being, because I definitely use TikTok for search engine too. Like if I was looking for that viral cucumber salad recipe the other day and just put that in. It's really easy to find it. You find a bunch of them. But I was playing around with YouTube Shorts the other day, and it does need some tweaking for sure. And the captions need to be longer for sure. But I realized what an opportunity YouTube does have if they choose to capitalize on it, because people are already searching YouTube for things. And this would be if you made the searchability of a short a little bit easier to access. I could see it being like, okay, they find you in a short and then they watch your longer video over here. Like I could see how that does end up playing out. I want to play around with it a little bit more, but I got excited about it the other day. And I actually felt a little bit hopeful. And that's something, because I've just been feeling very sad since TikTok and all the back and forth with banning it. And so I just wanted to add that. Go ahead.
No, I love that insight. Because I feel like, obviously, yes, I'm not here to be like, y'all already know how I feel about shorts anyway. So it's not even, so I'm like, yes. But with this change, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should like lessen my reins a little bit and be like, hey, y'all can post a few shorts if you want, you know what I'm saying? because it will help with that, like that additional visibility, right? Is it going to be as probably big as TikTok? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? I mean, their short shelf has its own algorithm there that I think can be better. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of why, and that's really why I know I feel like I'm being so boring about this whole thing, because it's like, if you do a short, keep it in like either the education or like the edutainment type of thing. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, if it's just like too entertaining and too creatory, you're gonna get so many people who don't really like, it don't really make sense for your video to be served to those people. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? Like, I just feel like you have to like make sure that it's very specific.
So I have a question that I'm reversing it. I'm not the leader of this panel, but I do have a question for you then, because the video that I made that went big on TikTok and brought a lot of people into my space was a dumb little video. Like, it was a bet that I made with a client, and it ended up turning into a lot of people being able to just find me, just see that it was available. And so I agree, keeping it professional, like all of those things. But if the videos are professional, but maybe the shorts aren't as professional, do you see that as not being like?
No, that works. I think that's in line with what I would like to see.
Yeah.
Right. It still is in line with with your business, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I guess so. Okay, let me do another example. Maybe the listen and don't judge trending thing. Maybe that wouldn't be an ideal short. Yeah. I guess that's probably what I mean. Like, by like when it gets a little bit too edutainment, to educate. It's like I would probably want to be very, very rigid on the type of the video choice until the shorts algorithm gets better. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would love to know what you think, Bianca, as you're thinking about well, I know like you're like, if it gets, I feel like, didn't you say that you think that TikTok still can like something like it won't, like the ban won't happen, and so you're probably not even, are you in the phase of considering adding shorts to your account, or like where are you in that process, in that thinking mindset?
Yeah, so I've posted some shorts on YouTube that some have done well. Mm-hmm. I think shorts would work like I think posting some stuff that really allows people to see your personality in a short would work, and then the longer form video would be where they would go for more depth and substance. I'm probably one of few people who is delulu enough to think that the TikTok ban won't go through.
I like hearing that from a lawyer, though. I got to tell you.
Like, I think a lot of people are reading the headlines and they're like, and I think based on the questions that the justices asked, people are thinking they're going to uphold the ban. But also based on a lot of the questions they asked of the government attorney, I could see it going both ways. And so I'm very much like, it ain't over till it's over. The ban goes through on Sunday. A lot can happen between now and Sunday. I've been practicing law over 10 years. I've seen situations where I thought the Supreme Court was going to say one thing and they say something totally different. Trump has said that he wants to do an executive order to try to save TikTok. My senator, Senator Markey, has introduced a bill to extend it. So I think that a lot can happen between now and Sunday. I don't think that we necessarily need to be planning the funeral and the repast dinner right now for TikTok. But in the event that TikTok does get banned, it won't be the end of the world for me, at least. I've been marketing on social media since 2014, before TikTok was even a thing. Mm-hmm. I'll keep going the way that I was. But I think that, if TikTok gets banned, regardless of, if TikTok gets banned, then it's not just TikTok we have to worry about. We also have to worry about all these social media accounts, because this ruling is basically saying, the government can tell you to shut down your company if it doesn't like who owns it. Today it's TikTok. What happens if, they turn on Meta tomorrow? They turn on Google the next day. So regardless, you need to have a strategy that works with various platforms.
Mm-hmm. Love that. I love it so much. I want to circle back to the content thing, right? So hopefully, because well, actually before I hit that, I want to hit on what you're saying about like it's so important to diversify and also just make sure that you have something that you own. And I hate to be that person that's like, do you have an email list? Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying? We all know it. We all get it, right?
That. Like,
we all get it. But like, I'm not here to shame someone for not having one. It's like
right.
shit. I mean, like, do what you need to do, but diversify so that if something does happen, you are able to take some of your audience with you. You know what I'm saying? Like whether it's on like your website or you have a built-in community that you own somewhere else or whatever that may be. This may be a really good indication of like the importance of having just more than one focus for a social media platform, because I know both of y'all have social media profiles on other channels too, right? Like Whitney, you have YouTube, you have TikTok, but you also have Instagram, and you on Threads, girl. I mean, you be on Threads a little bit, you know what I'm saying?
Just dipping my little toe occasionally.
I love Threads. Threads is that girl. I love Threads.
Yeah, and like Bianca, I know you everywhere, honey. You know what I'm saying? You everywhere. She's like, I know, yes. So, but like having that, and I think gone are those days that like people say like, oh, focus up on just one platform, and you know, so having some type of diversity is going to be important. Preferably maybe having it being an email list and a website at least on like some kind of owned platform. Okay. Now I want to just hit on some of like the content ideas, right? So I know that we mentioned like, you know, there's probably going to be like a difference in the type of short that someone would apply for their TikTok content to be repurposed. But Whitney, you mentioned something about the carousels, and I want to talk about this a little bit more, because if you're using those carousels, I know obviously Instagram has that ability, and TikTok has that too. You can still bring that over with your community. With your community tab or your community section, to where you can add those images. Like I think you can have up to 4 or 5, and you can kind of make that same effect. You know, I mean, it's not the same as TikTok, but you can still have that kind of content move over whenever that time happens. That could be a really great way to engage people that have watched your videos. Because like, here's the beauty of it too, is when you use like that community tab, and that community tab can be like quizzes, polls, carousel, all type of content. They don't have to be subscribed to the channel in order for them to see that. So they could just watch one video, and then now that content is being served inside their home feed, or even on their app. When they're scrolling on their home feed on their app, you'll see a community post or whatever on their home feed, and they don't even subscribe to you. That happens to me all the time. And so so that on top of that could also be an additional visibility component that YouTube can offer you, as if something happens and you want to like move over your content. It's not like you have to be like, oh well, these carousel posts, what the hell I do with these? You know what I'm saying? So that could be helpful. You know what I'm saying? Have you, well, Whitney, I don't think you've done the community tab before, but Bianca, have you used it before?
Not in that capacity, no.
No, it's I feel like as your community grows, it could be something really, really cool to look at. You know, as you if your channel is like, you know, smaller, your community tab's going to be, you know, it ain't going to be as popping, you know what I'm saying, as a YouTube video. But it's nice to like to build that in eventually, you know.
Yeah.
What other adjustments do y'all think that you'll have to end up making if you decide to kind of just like invest a little bit more time into like your short form content on YouTube if something happens to TikTok?
I think it's really just one of those things where you got to try and see what works. You know, it's really trial and error. I know, like for my clients, a lot of times they don't want to post stuff unless it's completely perfect. Like their, you know, hair is done, makeup's done. They have a script. Everything is like completely perfect, all the stars have aligned. And I'm like, you got to just post it to see what works. And so I think this is really going to be for people that have only marketed on TikTok and they now have to switch, they have to pivot to YouTube. I think if they're going to use shorts, they do have to kind of approach it in that same way. Remember that it's not TikTok, so it's not the same audience. So people aren't looking for the same things on YouTube as they would be on TikTok. But, it's really just posting what, just kind of see what works and see how people react to it. And then, tweak your content accordingly.
I agree. And I could see, I don't know, and this is just my algorithm, my FYP. It's not everybody's, but I'm seeing a lot of people who are not excited to move into a meta platform, not excited to, leave social media altogether. And so I could see in the next year or two, depending on how things shift and how it all rolls out, or if things happen at all. I'm still with you. If it doesn't get banned at all, that's cool. But if it does, I could see people shifting how we use it because they're coming from that other platform. My sister and I were talking about it this week because she and I obviously are on TikTok quite a bit. And I had talked to her about shorts and she went over and tried it a little bit. And she's like, it's pretty similar. Like there's fun videos, there's nature videos, just whatever you're interested in. But if there's more people like her who are coming over from that platform, I could see shorts becoming something a little bit different. Because people aren't excited to go to Meta right now. At all. Like they're really mad.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I feel like everyone's like, I don't want to post reels. They're like, what do you mean?
That algorithm is harsh.
Yeah. Yeah, Instagram is not the way it used to be anymore. It's not even fun anymore.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. There's a real opportunity. I can picture in my head, I picture the folks at YouTube sitting in that boardroom, just like, okay, guys, we got to mobilize. We got to do stuff right now. We got to fix these things.
Yes, fix it all. What are some of the things? Oh, this could be a great thing for us to look at is what are some of the components that you would like to see from YouTube Shorts in the future to make it worthwhile for you?
One of the things that I was really excited about is how I could tag a video, a longer form piece of content in my short. That's amazing because the link in bio, I know it's really easy to do. No one wants to do it.
Right.
Nobody wants to go to the link in bio. They don't want to search for what they're looking for. And so if let's say I do a video on or a short talking about egg quality or the frustrations there. And I'm able to link directly a long form video. I feel like that as a consumer, I would personally really like because it cuts down on my search time. But the one thing I did find the other day when I was messing around with it, and I have a few shorts, not extensive. I plan on doing more. The captions were not long enough. I could only put hashtags. I could only put 100 characters, which I'm not even a long-winded person, and I got stuck on that. But I would like them to do that, to adjust the caption size so that because sometimes you need to describe things or explain things a little bit more, especially if the video is really short.
Yeah. I haven't posted a short in a while, so I don't know what updates they've been making. But I think for me, I'm just going to be posting more. I'm going to try to post more shorts on YouTube. I kind of call TikTok a platform that you can set it and forget it. For people that don't want to post a million videos a day, TikTok really is that platform where you can get away. Once you develop a following, you actually could get away with posting once a day. You don't have to necessarily post 8 videos per day.
I'm impressed with the people who can. That's prolific. I don't have it in me.
Me neither. Not anymore. Early in COVID, I did because I had time on my hands. Not anymore. Not anymore. But because TikTok, the algorithm is just going to bring your videos to whoever needs it, and I would like to see more of that in YouTube. And I feel like they have the potential because Google is a search engine, so it's just a matter of making it in that way. Because that's what's the beauty of TikTok is you can post something, and even if you have 2 followers, it's gonna go to whoever needs that content, and it's gonna. And the more content you have, they can binge, and that's when they're like, okay, I love this person. How else can I, see more of them? And maybe that's when they migrate over to YouTube. So I think, having the ability to just crank out content and see what happens is how we're going to learn how to use this better.
Yeah. And that's a huge difference between any of the Meta platforms and TikTok. I have videos from 2020 that people still see. Same. And you won't see any of that. There are no old videos, old Instagram posts that are going to go anything. No one sees any of that. Mm-hmm.
Same. I still get hired. Like this year, I've been hired from videos that I posted on TikTok in 2021. Yeah. People are commenting on videos that I posted years ago because the algorithm is bringing it to them. And also because I know how to optimize my keywords and search in TikTok, they're finding that better, and that's how they're finding me.
Yep.
Period.
So if YouTube wants to watch this and take notes, that'd be amazing.
Oh my gosh, can you imagine? I look, maybe one day, maybe they'll be like, what is this video that Jamar Diggs like published on his YouTube channel? We'll see. But yeah, before we move on, y'all, I forgot to mention this at the beginning, but I am giving away either $200 off of the Low Lift Club or a free YouTube audit, honey. Let me know which one you want and I'll decide which one I want to give away. If you're interested in that, just like put either audit or LLC, and then I'll figure out which one I want to do. All right. And then also ask any questions that you want. Feel free to leave comments with any questions as well. So now we have like your wants for YouTube Shorts, right? When it comes down to it, obviously we don't want TikTok to be banned. I'm over here like I don't really care, but I'm not here like being like, oh my God, come over to YouTube because now TikTok is banned, and now because I don't want that stress either. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I don't want that stress. But if you are thinking about diversifying your like short form video strategy and things like that, YouTube could be an option, especially if you're like no to Meta. You know,
I've looked at some of the other options, and it's the shorts. They're good. Like they're entertaining. You can get the education you're looking for. I've been pleasantly surprised. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, I have had something happen with like when I consume shorts. Is like if I watch someone's video, if I watch someone's video, right, or if I'm searching for something, they're starting to send me relevant videos that I'm like, okay, cool. They're not random anymore. They're not just like random. Like I'm like, what's happening? And so, but it will be just like the same topic, like back to back to back to back. And I'm like, okay, I have other interests. Like I have other interests. I was like, I just searched about ClickUp one time. Like let's chill out on these tutorial shorts. So there is. I feel like they're trying to do something. You know, they're trying to do something. Let me see if I had any other questions because I definitely. What is a piece of advice that you would give to someone who is considering diversifying a platform and going over to a YouTube, to using more of YouTube Shorts, or even just how to deal with like this stuff about the TikTok ban? What kind of advice would you give? And if you have any hot takes that you haven't shared yet, I would love to get those on camera.
Jamar's trying to get us in trouble.
I know. I'm gonna get banned.
Jamar's trying to bring us down with him.
I'm the one that'll get banned.
I mean, my biggest hot take is that this is not, this ban has nothing to do with data privacy, because like Facebook would have been banned. Like we had Cambridge Analytica stealing our data since 2010, and they didn't know about it until 2015. And we didn't know about it till 2018. Like they used it to rig Brexit, an election here, Twitter. Like if it really was about data protection, like all social media would have been banned already, not just TikTok, And it's like, and the irony that Americans out of protest are now going to Red Note, willingly giving our data to the Chinese government. Like, and that's, like the core of America is rebellion, right? So it's like we're going to be like, oh, you don't want us to use TikTok and watch our cat videos because you think we're gonna, share our data. Well, let's just give it to them then. Let's just willingly give it to them. And then it's like, well, if TikTok's the problem, are we next gonna ban Shein and Temu and all the others, so it's a lot, not to be all conspiracy theory is, but like that's kind of my hot take, is that this has nothing to do with data security and the fact that it's under the guise of national security, but we can't tell you what it is. You just got to take our word for it. All Americans, regardless of political affiliation, should feel a way about that, so I think it's bigger than we think it is. It's not, but at the same time, the people making the laws don't understand what TikTok is at all. Like, one of the justices compared it to, well, why are they complaining about TikTok? Can't they just go on another app and sell their stuff? Are they just trying to hold on to that piece of clothing that's so old that they can't get rid of? I'm like, you're really comparing TikTok to an old t-shirt? Like, seriously? But these are the people making our laws, So it's frustrating. But to answer your original question about, what advice I would give to people, number one, nothing is going to happen overnight. Like if you have like 100,000 followers on TikTok and now you're moving over to YouTube, kind of starting from scratch, you're not going to get 100,000 followers overnight. YouTube is a slow growth. I've been posting videos on YouTube since 2018. I just last year hit over 10,000 subscribers, and now I'm up to I think like 13,000 or something. It's going to be a slow build, but if you create content that is that's entertaining, that solves a problem, then people are going to keep coming back if you're posting good stuff and if you're consistent.
My hot take piggybacks off of yours. It feels, for me as a user, that sounded more like drugs. As a TikTok user, this feels so much bigger than just shutting down an app. It feels socially very disconnecting. Like it feels bad. It's very scary and sad, incredibly sad. For a lot of us, we've built communities. We have people we're following. It's so connecting. And during the pandemic, it was amazing. It was so good. And it feels a lot more silencing. It's not just shutting down an app. It has nothing to do with the cat videos. It just doesn't. And I'm thankful that you watched that Supreme Court hearing, so I didn't have to, but it sounds like it went just like I thought it was going to.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels really sad. It feels culturally shifting. That's how big it is. And if I had to give advice, the same thing. It's just slow and steady. It's not, I don't think we're going to see another app for a while that's going to have the same growth rate that TikTok did and reach rate. But that doesn't mean that it's gone. It doesn't mean it's done. And just playing around. I think that's probably the best piece of advice.
Yeah.
Don't try to recreate what happened over there, but instead play around with what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, I love both of y'all's insights on this. It's like what I'm hearing is like, obviously this seems a little bit more than just data privacy. Okay.
Yep.
And it could totally feel like a slippery slope, not to get too, like, I ain't trying to get too, no, I'm not trying to get them locked up. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Locked up.
Right.
But what point do we stop calling it a conspiracy though? Like, where's the line between?
because it has been such a meaningful app. Like, don't get me wrong, like it's been game changing. It's been a catalyst for other people, for other, like that's why these other platforms have shorts and have reels now.
Yep.
Right? A new
social media.
Yes, this is a whole new platform has entered into the villa. You know what I'm saying? She is shaking the table. But I think that, like how y'all said, all we can do is really see. But I am so grateful for y'all like sharing your insights and sharing a little bit more of like how you're going to be adapting to this change if the change happens, and hopefully like this gives people an idea of like the kind of content that could transfer over just with a little tweak. You know what I'm saying? I know myself, I am going to try to post a little bit more shorts.
You've been doing reels, just pop them over.
Yeah.
I know. I'm gonna try to do shorts. And we'll see what happens. that way I'll just know more about the changes that happen with it. Because my ass is just literally like, I'm a long form yapper, certified and dry. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's time for me to just take a little bit of a deeper look into, especially if there's an interest in the possibility of diversifying the short form content. I'm like, the feature's there. Let me just go ahead and take a look at it, I guess. I'm like the person that is trying to ignore like going to the doctor or some shit like that. I'm like, nah, I don't want to worry about that yet. I'll think about it later. But now I'm like, okay, let's think more about it. Let's see how we can think about doing this strategically and just answer questions, because y'all know I always get questions about YouTube Shorts, and I'm always like, have you posted another video yet?
But I think too, like, so in the same way that, you know, again, TikTok has like set the standard for a lot of this stuff. You know, like we had TikTok, and then all of a sudden we had Instagram Reels, we have YouTube Shorts. LinkedIn now is pushing short form content. So, you know, and LinkedIn is one of those platforms where you either love it or hate it. Nobody likes LinkedIn. It's either you love it or you hate it. And LinkedIn is one of those.
I like that you either love it or hate it, but no one likes it.
Exactly. No one likes LinkedIn, but you know, I personally love LinkedIn. Like I'm always posting on LinkedIn. But right now they're pushing short form content because they just really, that's a new feature they had in the last couple of months. So if you're posting that, you're gonna get more reach for that. On top of the fact that only like 1% of people on LinkedIn are posting. So if you're posting anything on LinkedIn, you're getting seen. I think that if the TikTok ban goes through, maybe Google will do the same thing with YouTube, where they're going to start pushing out shorts more just to get that traction, which is also going to be research for them because they're going to want to see what people are posting and what people are reacting to, how they're reacting to it in their attempt to mimic the TikTok algorithm.
Yes. Yeah. I do have to say, because I am on LinkedIn. It's one of those platforms where I'm just there and I post things, but I love how they've integrated the short form video into it. It feels to me, it feels very, very natural. Well, just naturally applied, but I think it's just because before it was literally just text. It was just, and so we're just used to having video, some kind of visuals, period, on other platforms. So it's really good. No, I love this, you guys. Oh, let me go ahead and pick this winner, Jillian, Mama J Love. You are the winner of an audit. If you're still here, leave a comment. Honey. And then just send me an email with your information. Okay. 1 second. Let me just do a little bit of admin.
I'm always so impressed when someone's like, so-and-so will give you that thing when you're on a live, like they've got their admin person in the background. I'm like, I need an admin person.
I need a lot of things. Admin people. I need people.
I need people. I don't have any people. It's just me.
I need people. I'm like, shoot, I need people.
Same. I had a team. Like I had a team of like 6 people in my law firm, and now I'm down to 1. Because I always tell people I want to be a boss, but I want to be a boss. Like I want to be a BAWSE, not a BOSS. And so so I don't want to manage people, because that's like, for every person you hire, that's also more work for you. And I'm not trying to do that.
No, I'm just rocking and rolling by myself. It feels nice, but it's nice. It would be nice to have at least one assistant. I mean, Jesus, just someone.
Just someone to moderate the caption. Chat.
It would be.
I need someone to take out the mean comments. That's what I want. Filter that out.
Cool. Yeah.
I got my second mean comment out of my whole time of being on YouTube. But keep in mind, that is different because I'm a guy. It's different because I'm a guy. Because like I feel like people are so mean to women YouTube channels, and it's so crazy. But this is my second one out of and it was like, and it wasn't even, I mean, to me, I was like, I know what you're getting at, sir, so you can chill out. Because it was like, he said something about my voice. He said something about my voice, and he was like, oh, I'm shocked by the voice. I was like, okay. And I'm like,
you can click out at any point. No one is forcing you to be here.
No one, I mean, my block button is strong.
It's
I get a lot of mean comments on TikTok, but I'm like, it's cool because it's engagement for me. Same with YouTube. There's a video that I did and I had like hundreds of like mean comments. Like my aunt like sent me a message. She was like, are you seeing these? Like, are you okay? And I'm like, for me, I always say that it's hard to hurt my feelings because I have an immigrant mother and I've heard so many different things. And so for me, it's like the people that leave the mean comments, I don't care because it's engagement. It's like the algorithm will see that people are commenting on my post and it'll just push it out. But there was a video one time that I posted on TikTok that I got so many like negative comments that TikTok actually put the anti-bullying like thing on my video because they thought that I was being bullied. And it wasn't that they were saying mean things about me. They were just saying like, you don't need a lawyer for this. You guys are just trying to steal money from people. I had so much of that TikTok was like, are you being bullied? Are you okay? And I'm like, I'm totally fine. Like if I didn't have a tough skin, like I would not be marketing on social media.
That's fair. That is fair. But I know you already know like how crazy those comments can be. Whitney, do you ever get any? This is like so off topic. I'm sorry, y'all. But do you ever get mean comments? I feel like how do you get mean comments with what you do?
I get a lot of people telling me I'm a grifter, just trying to take advantage of people who are in a vulnerable state. I get a lot of people telling me my work is dumb and bogus, and you can just go to YouTube and figure it out and get pregnant. Like it's I don't know. It's that kind of stuff. I don't get so many like direct insults, but it's a lot about the work. And I think that just comes with working with a population that is very vulnerable and it's a very charged topic and it's very delicate. And so I'm not surprised that people feel a certain kind of way about it. And I go out of my way to try and make sure that I'm very, very delicate with what I put out. But regardless, I mean, social media, it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, oh my gosh, you guys, thank you so much for talking with me about all this stuff. It's so great to have y'all on. I'm looking forward to, I would love for y'all to come back and we do like a different one where, well, it just depends on what happens. You know what I'm saying? And we'll see what y'all doing like later on, a few months down the road with YouTube Shorts. If the thing happens, you know what I'm saying?
If the event takes place.
If it takes
but also just to add, like I know a lot of people who are posting on YouTube, on TikTok, have been telling their followers to go to YouTube, myself included. But they're not planning on posting shorts on YouTube. They're planning on posting long form content. So don't think that just because you're posting shorts or TikTok videos that you have to go to YouTube and also post shorts. You can just be on YouTube and post long form stuff. TikTok also gives the option of longer form videos as well. And so there are people on TikTok posting longer videos. So don't feel like because you're posting these like 30-second to 60-second videos on TikTok, you have to do the same thing on YouTube. Some people might have loved you on TikTok, because of your personality or the quick stuff, but then they would be interested in hearing you speak longer about certain topics as well.
Let me tell you this. You see saying the same shit that I've been saying, but people be saying no. They want to do the short form.
No.
So I'm like
both.
Yeah, I feel like short form works best on TikTok. Like if I post something on TikTok and I post the same or similar on Instagram, it's not going to do the same. No. Like their Instagram is more aesthetically pleasing, day in the life, shots of me pouring coffee type of vibe. Whereas TikTok is, you can do a range of things. But I don't think that people who are on TikTok right now for the short form stuff are going to go to YouTube looking for that same thing. I think that eventually people might just go to YouTube for its original purpose and the longer form stuff. But either way, it's possible to, for me, if TikTok goes away and I'm posting on YouTube, I'm primarily going to be posting the long form stuff that I've been doing that's been monetized. I'm not going to start posting a ton of, shorts just for the hell of it. I'll post some just to experiment with it. But on YouTube, my main strategy is long form, not short form.
Yes.
Do you think though, because we both talked about the personality piece and how that was really effective over on TikTok. And it seems like trending wise, a lot of people are tired of the Instagram perfection, like the nice, beautiful feed and all of that. And I'm wondering if some of that could trickle over into the long form piece. Cause I know my videos are edited. I think most people I think who are doing like business stuff are editing things and getting into more of like the, what's the word I want to use? Like not the mistakes, but just like showing the real, like the realness behind it. I think that's an element I would like to bring into my content this year and over on YouTube as well. I say over, like we're not here right now.
Right.
Right here now.
Yeah, that's kind of my strategy for this year. I mean, I have stuff that I need to talk to Jamar at some point. But I always feel like if I talk to him, he's gonna like yell at me because I have not been doing my homework. But one of the things that I plan on doing this year is like for Instagram, using that as kind of like a, you know, day in the like in my stories, like sharing like days, you know, day in my life of what I'm working on, showing the behind the scenes of me running a law firm, running my personal branding business, starting another one, kind of showing the sausage being made, not the perfection. So kind of the opposite of what's on Instagram.
The opposite of what we've been doing.
Exactly. Yeah. And for my Brilliant Rebel Instagram, my clients don't come to me from that, but I have an Instagram presence. And so I just have like a static grid that just like the 9 grids is pretty much just what I do. So I never really have to update it. It's just always current. And that way, you know, if people are looking for that perfection thing, it's there. But like I plan on using Instagram just for like chronicling my daily life. And if you want the legal information, the personal branding info, whatever, that's what my YouTube will be for.
Yeah.
It doesn't all have to be everything on one platform.
I would advise against that. Yeah. If we've learned anything.
Exactly.
Yes. Oh, I just love another person saying you can do the long form and it'll be okay.
Yeah, I prefer long form. Like I never did, because I mean, at the end of the day, all of the social media apps try to copy each other. Like TikTok was always short videos, and then it started adding the 3-minute, then the 10-minute. I never posted a 10-minute video. Like I'm not posting a 10-minute video on TikTok, and I didn't think anybody would care about one until Risa Tisa did the, you know, who the F did I marry, and we were glued for all 50. Good. Yeah, it was so good, but that's because she's good at storytelling. You know, like if she sucked at storytelling, you wouldn't have tuned in for all of that, right? And so, but I feel like for people, not a lot of people are great at storytelling, so we're not going to tune into that on TikTok, but maybe we would on YouTube, depending on what you're talking about.
Yeah. Yep.
Ooh, I love that there's so many perspectives. I feel so it's just like, well, obviously I love the latter perspective, but it's so great to where it's, if you currently are on TikTok and you're thinking about it, like you can, like the options are, you just have to change some of your short form, or like don't be afraid to lean into too long form, you know, because it is one of like the best ways for like thought leadership and also like authority building. You know what I'm saying? Like I really still stand by short form content, gets their attention, gets the visibility, maybe gives them like a little quick win, you know, every now and again. But then I really truly feel like long form content builds that connection to get people to take even more action. That doesn't mean that short form content doesn't, you like no one won't take an action from it, but I'm just saying like, you know, long form, like that's kind of what it's built for, you know.
Right.
So
also I feel like people might hate me for saying this, maybe this will be my hot take. TikTok is for lazy marketers. I always say that like TikTok is like a set it and forget it but don't neglect it platform, because you don't have to think hard. You can just post something, and again, the algorithm is doing all the work. It's bringing your stuff to people, which is why follower count doesn't matter, because whoever is searching for what you're talking about, they will get that content. But if TikTok goes away and now you're switching to YouTube, you can't do that on YouTube. You have to have a strategy. As long as I've been on YouTube, I wasn't really making much traction. I was getting clients here and there, but I wasn't monetizing in the way that I am. It wasn't until being in the Low Lift Club and you teaching us how to optimize our profiles and search and everything, that's when my videos started getting more views, getting more traction, getting more money from my videos, and getting more clients. So if you are planning on switching from TikTok to YouTube, don't think that you're just going to be posting, you know, random YouTube shorts or even long form. Like you're going to need a strategy, and, you know, lucky for you, Jamar's here to help you through it.
I'm here for the strategy, honey. You know what I'm saying? Come over inside the Low Lift Club. You know, it's great over there. Shit. It's so fun.
It's a vibe. It's a vibe.
Such a vibe.
I'm
Yes.
just picturing like all the people pushing those cortisol drinks on TikTok all the time.
Like, oh my gosh. Can you imagine? So I'm not sure how the ads, like how the ad revenue works over there, but oh my gosh, every time I'm swiping, there's an ad, man, and I'm like, someone's getting some money because and my mom keeps on buying things from the TikTok shop. So I'm like, someone's getting paid. And I'm like, girl, does it even work? Do you even like it?
You need like somebody needs to develop, because I personally didn't like the QVC element of TikTok, but other people really did, like your mom, like buying all the TikTok shop stuff. I made it a policy of mine. I'm not buying anything on TikTok. Like I could, because once it's almost like a gateway. Like once you start, you keep going. So I just didn't. But I think that should be something someone develops for like these small shops or like the MLM companies. Like we need a QVC TikTok, somebody who just wants to swipe and comfort watch.
Yeah.
Honestly, that's so real. That's so real. Because honestly, because even on YouTube, there is a feature where they've integrated with Shopify and I think like Teespring or something, to where they will be able to like buy from the platform. And so I'm like, shoot, add on a little QVC. Add on a little QVC.
A tab. If you want to buy things, if you want to go to, that's a tab you go to.
Right.
Yes. And then everything else, just keep it clean. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I would love that. Oh man. Okay. Do we have any final words? Anything else that y'all want to add before we wrap up?
Nothing. We're along for the ride. I think that there's a lot of potential though with YouTube, and I already love so many of the aspects of it. I'm going to play around with it. I like the idea of doing like this like session in 6 months, seeing where we're at.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it was so fun. Let's do it. I'm so down.
Yeah, definitely. Because I mean, and the thing too that we have to also understand is that there's always going to be a new social media platform that comes along. Social media is old. You know, like we think back to like the MySpace days. I don't know if anything came before that, but like, you know, MySpace, shout out to MySpace. I learned how to code websites because of MySpace.
My diary, mydiary.com.
Yeah, like I built all my websites because of that, you know? And so there's going to be so social media is very old right now. All these platforms are old. Google is old. Facebook is 2006. Like all these social media platforms are old. And of course, you know, TikTok's only been around since 2016. Right. And so, and the majority of us didn't really like grabble onto it until like 2019, 2020. So for us, like we just started using this thing for the last 5 years. So everything is super, you know, everything else is like legacy social media old, and the newer kids are going to come on the block and change things based on how we interact in all the other ones, whether it's, you know, so if it's not TikTok, you know, maybe Blue Sky starts developing something, or, you know, maybe Red Note has something in English that we can understand, and maybe more of us use it, you know.
The number of people, I want to see the data on who downloaded like a Chinese translator, a Mandarin translator.
For real.
Yeah.
But that's so true. Like innovation has been so key in these past 5 years, man. Like, can you imagine how much innovation happened in such little time?
Yeah. You got to pivot or perish. Like I say that all the time. And I think, and I don't know if it's true, I heard that the guy that created TikTok used to work for Facebook and pitched it to Zuckerberg, but he passed on it. And so again, this is why I'm like, this is more than just data privacy, you know.
Vendetta.
I mean, I'll be here when they make a Netflix documentary about this. You know,
yeah. Oh yeah. You're gonna be one of the people that they select, and you're gonna be like,
yeah.
And you're gonna be like,
I am available.
There's more to this.
Exactly. I am available.
I love it. Well, Whitney, do you have anything you want to add before we wrap up?
Not a whole lot that hasn't already been said. It's big. Whatever is happening right now, it's a big shift, and we are all along for the ride, and we're not going anywhere, but we're going to keep playing around.
Yep.
We're not going anywhere. We're going to keep on adapting. That's the beauty of marketing, y'all. Like your audience is still with you. You just like, you're going to keep saying the same thing over and over and over anyway. It's just going to be on a different way and a different app or whatever. Yeah. It's okay. Just be able to, be easy. Yeah. Don't stress out.
We went from AOL chat rooms to where we are now. You know what I mean? So
chat rooms were crazy.
Yeah. What was it? ASL?
That's ASL.
Age certification.
We had like our on AIM. We've come a long way.
We have.
And social media is going to keep evolving. We're going to keep having communities. I used to be a part of like Yahoo groups back in the day, right? So like how we communicate with each other is going to continue to evolve, and we have to, just keep up with the times. But in the meantime, in between time, like I'm Brazen Lawyer on whatever platform. So, you can always just make sure you're following your people wherever they go.
Maybe that's my piece of advice. Secure your handle. If you hear a new app coming out, jump on your handle right away. Yep. Grab it. And maybe a couple others. Maybe grab a handful of them.
Yeah. Honestly, I take Jamar Diggs and I make sure that is everywhere. Yeah. Because there's a basketball player that has the same name as me, and I have been.
You've been fighting with him.
I've been fighting him. He has the Facebook, but that's the only thing that he got. So yeah, grab the handle. Okay, y'all. So thank y'all so much for joining me. If y'all are interested in learning more about how to get pregnant as a busy mom, honey, hit up Whitney at the Fertility Nut. If you are a professional service provider in a regulated industry too, you know what I'm saying? Hit up Bianca. But also, if you're an immigrant and you want that green card, honey, you go ahead and you go over to her too.
That too.
Better than later.
Yes. But until then, y'all, I'll see you in the next video, and have a wonderful day. Bye.
Bye.
I shut this off so quickly. I'm like, all right, bye.